Tries to see another vehicle, natural vehicle for Lifestealer, obviously a Slardar, maybe even a Storm, which EG banned out earlier in one of the games.
Yeah, Slardar
Slardar is taking out.
is taking out the lead, and they still end up going for that Ogre Magi, so giving Complexity a chance to pick it up, but taking it still just in case. And again, I mean, the Batrider Ogre opening, we've said it many times. It's very open. They don't give away a lot about what they're planning on doing with their draft here.
Just letting die a lot. That's probably the one thing that we can know is gonna be happening.
Yeah, he did not have fun games. I mean, we heard him in that interview. You know, he's playing 5 position. It's just not fun.
It's not about fun. It's just about winning.
It's about winning. Well, yeah, about that.
Same thing. Alchemist banned by Complexity, as we were expecting.
Yeah. So far, I mean, it's you gotta try something different, right? If you're Evil Geniuses. I mean, even the game that they won, they didn't look that strong. Well, in certain parts it did, but at some parts they didn't, if you know what I mean.
Rubik could be a good ban now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's another direction. They might say, you know what, even if we didn't feel great about game 1, I'm not sure how they felt, it still worked for us. We were still able to win the game. We were still able to consolidate the advantages that we got. So maybe we go back to that formula, which has worked for us to take this.
Maybe they go back for the Naga. We could even ban it here, since the Sand King's banned out, and Naga's a very good matchup versus the Lifestealer at all stages. Obviously, we'll just not really fight him early on, and then later you're able to ensnare him and just kind of kite him around.
Sand King removed as a Monkey's hero. Seeing what Monkey's heroes are still in the pool, a lot actually are. With Darkseer, Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker actually. I mean, Spirit Breaker, Lifestealer, you're talking about a vessel. That's your hero right there. And they have played Spirit Breaker on both Sea Freak and Monkey, so it's very flexible. Mirana's still in the pool as well. More flexibility in terms of where to put those heroes.
Ban out the AM.
Ban out the AM, yeah.
So they're more, so Complexity is kind of aligned with what we thought, which is they're more worried about Evil Genius split pushing and the fight. They're very confident in their fighting ability right now.
I mean, I would be after the previous games.
Yeah.
That is part of the reason why they were doing so well. Darkseer is the one that don't want Monkeys to play, so we'll see what they end up picking up. Is there any specific hero that you would like to see from Complexity this game, Ben, as a Lifestealer vessel?
Storm, perhaps?
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe even a Nyx or something like that, which goes well into the bat. Another natural vessel for a Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Both seem pretty good.
A nice counter towards the Batrider, indeed, as you mentioned, Jack. That would be nice, and can fight very early on, and I think that's something that we should be expecting from this game. Explosive lanes, and talking about that, your dual lanes. Previously, Evil Geniuses didn't really work out, at least the previous dual lane didn't. Are we going to see that again, or is Universe going to be old-fashioned and thrown back to the offlane by himself, by lonesome?
Yeah, they could definitely help him out a little bit with the Ogre. Like, Batrider's a different kind of monster. Like we said, like the team that's had Batrider in both of these games won, so it's just a super powerful, flexible hero.
Complexity's taking the time. Think about what they are trying to do. Well, how much can you really read into bans and picks that Evil Geniuses has? Because they seem fairly straightforward.
It's all team fight.
Yep, all team fight. I think the Darkseer maybe just so that they don't have to worry about like the combo, one of the combo heroes, you know, Darkseer, Spirit Breaker, Darkseer, or Spirit, just one of those.
Yeah, and then the bullying potential in the offlane as well. And Slot RDS, also something, the VP point earlier, like, this is something that you'll see teams consistently ban out against VP as well. They don't want that mobility, that in-your-face play that goes so well with Lifestealer, but he's got plenty of options for partners. So.
Oh, there's the Mirana.
Go back for the Mirana still. The invisibility's been working super well for them. EG's been struggling a bit to have the reveal for that one, at least not even factoring the arrow or, you know, Starstorm burst potential. But also another hard-to-kill hero.
Yeah, the cancel's been super steady on this hero. Like, it's been very difficult to bring him down, and he's been a consistent source of damage output. And I wondered if EG might consider making him go a different direction this game. Just maybe throw off Complexity's tempo a little bit. I feel like it's just working out so well for them. It's so comfortable for them right now, this whole series.
It's more than likely the Monkey's hero, but this still also leaves Complexity like open-ended. They still have like options to change it up, and EG with an early Sven pickup.
They have that one secured. Also for late game, it is a fighting core, if you want to put it that way. Does pretty decent in team fights as well. We'll see though. I think Complexity is still going to find a way to put that team fight in there, even though a lot of heroes banned out against them. Do you feel like they need any setup for arrows with this with their draft so far?
They need a setup for Leshrac, I think.
For
more
Leshrac still?
But yeah, both of them would be great. What is their Rubik SD?
I mean,
Not too much.
Rubik.
Rubik SD Oracle.
Rubik.
Oracle versus the Batrider. They haven't picked it much, but okay, that's
That's
different.
Way different.
They
do-
picked that in the first game they
Yes,
played
they
versus
did.
EG, and they did not do so well with the Abaddon at least.
Okay,
Okay,
back to
EG's going back to Sven Dusa.
Yeah.
They're just going for the late game.
The Abaddon, a classic NA pick in some ways, gives them help against the Batrider
Mm.
as a counter, and also again another up-in-your-face hero that wants to be in those kind of skirmishes all the time.
10 seconds.
Yeah, last time where Complexity had the Abaddon, they went for the Slark as one of their heroes, but they already have the lifesteal now, so let's see what they love going for. But Medusa, we have only seen Medusa with Drow Ranger today, I think, in
Yep.
combination with her.
EG's one of the few teams that picks it without. And in combination with Sven, it's very, very good. And they don't really have a good way to deal with Medusa if it gets late. I think they could just constantly fight early and keep her farm down that way, but once it gets super, super late, maybe they might start to have some issues. And Anti-Mage has been banned out by Complexity, so there's not too many mana burners, and OD has been banned out by EG. So what else can they deal? How can they deal with Medusa into the late game? Nyx, I suppose, is an
Nyx
option.
Assassin,
Probably
yeah.
the best one, I would say, left.
And it's still a vessel for the lifestealer, but how would then your lanes work out? Soft lane, Mirana mid.
Yeah, I think
Lifestealer
you're
separate.
Support Abaddon, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a bit weird. We might even see them ban it out just in case. But yeah, Medusa versus Lifestealer is quite a struggle for the Lifestealer. The Stone Gaze is an incredibly powerful force into the later stages, of course.
Yeah, and I don't really think that there are that many other good heroes that deal with Medusa. Like all the diffusal carriers just get owned by Sven, and then Stone Gaze is also very good versus like Ursa or whatever it may be that you want to go for as a core.
And if it's a support, maybe it's like a Lion or something that gives you some of that setup for the other heroes, and of course has the mana drain, but not a popular hero this
Ooh,
patch.
how about the old combination of Medusa Witch Doctor? Because Stone Gaze and Death Ward have such a great synergy.
That's pretty great. I like it.
It's pretty good for EG. Some the heal potential too. They have sustain, which they were lacking.
Yeah.
Cole, maybe they could go. The thing is that Swindle usually plays the like a Coddle, like something like that to kind of deal with the Medusa to drain his mana, but it's a different approach. And then they don't really have any setup for the Leshrac or the Mirana. I don't know if I really like that.
Well, they're taking their time thinking about this last ban. What could they be talking about? Are they still discussing if that Mirana is a core or not, or which hero Complexity could still pick up to disrupt the Medusa, or are there other options that are more scary even? Another teamfight hero ban?
10 seconds remain.
Not sure.
Undying, that's a teamfight hero right there.
Yeah.
They do like Undying.
Something to like pair up with the Abaddon if it is in like obviously in the off lane, just able to guarantee him at least a lane to stand in instead of having to like resort to going to the jungle or something like that. Just some like beefy dual lane.
Yeah, it's a tough dual lane, and at least in the Chinese scene, some teams are kind of using Undying as a counter to roaming Ogre early on for your mid, because he can fend him off from your mid laner. So I'm not sure if they're thinking that since they have the Ogre, obviously.
And also using, of course, all the time to maybe already think about what they're gonna pick up as their last hero here. As
10
their-
seconds left.
Yeah, less than
Thinking
that
low.
even. They are gonna have to decide. It is
But
gonna
they
be
go for the
Oracle.
Oracle themselves. Interesting.
The only thing that they're liking right now, I think, is magic resistance versus the Medusa and the Leshrac, or sorry, the Mirana and the Leshrac.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot more over, like, let's say, Dazzle, because they already have the armor from the Sven. So armor from Sven, Oracle for the magic resistance, and a little bit of added burst with the Batrider, I think, helps them out really well. Especially considering like heroes might get sunlight for a very, very long time from the Mirana, and he provides that just little basic defense so that the cores can do something. But it's very overall just very defensive.
Yeah, very defensive.
So Evil Geniuses is hoping that this game is gonna go late. Correct?
Yep, they're banking on it. They're
It
radiant.
does seem like
Okay.
that. And okay,
Okay.
so they go for
That
the Nyx
is the
themselves
Nyx
as
assassin?
we were kind of expecting that one, just like something to deal with the and it's also like a cool dual lane, you know, Abaddon, Nyx, they can actually like force experience, force like being in their faces, which is what we've been talking
The
about.
Nyx needs Ags, I think,
Mhm.
if they don't like steamroll the early game.
How important are the lanes for Complexity this time? We said last time they have to win them. Is that as important this game?
Yeah, I mean they're playing versus a very late game heavy potential
do
lineup,
not
so
wanna
they
go
need to
late.
they need to
No.
just kind of crush these lanes, or at least pull more than even.
If they wanted to go
Let's say.
late, they could have picked a better scaling than
Okay.
Nyx, I would say. But
Mhm.
Well, we're gonna find out if they can indeed crush their lanes and take this to a 2-1 in their favor, or if Evil Geniuses is still gonna pull out a 2-1 and get their revenge. It is over to Toby and Purge.
Yes, well, will revenge be granted? Game number 3, our final game of the day. Purge, the panel is kind of leaning towards a late game approach for EEG, a complexity where, you said it before, they have to try and crush me, new word from Fogged. What do you think, man?
Well, it doesn't just have to be the laning stage, it could be mid-game as well. Obviously, Duso wants to go late, Sven wants to go late, but Cole definitely has some mid-game heroes. And one thing I'm looking at for their draft is that they might have some trouble killing Medusa. The Nyx, for that reason, was a great pickup just because of the mana drain.
Okay, one extra thing. I haven't seen this hero just yet in the competitive, at least for the major. Oracle pickup, the 5th one from EG. What's the purpose? What's the thought process behind this?
Well, normally it's grabbed to counter a Batrider disable, but I mean, if you can block a 5-second arrow, that's pretty good too. And like I said, Cole's damage is a little bit iffy. Oh, they're going to sneak past the tier 1 here.
Ooh, they're actually coming down for a kill. Yeah, they're going to find something. Zion Samael, this could be the start, the complexity you're looking for. Samael, he's twitching. He doesn't know if he wants to go through the trees. Crit, going to offer fortunes, and they hold him there with a stun. First blood. It goes the way of complexity.
Yeah, what happened there was Medusa thought he could do the 2-tree cut here, but then he realized he has shared tangos. He can't cut 2, only 1, and then he was committed to being stunned. So, place that they didn't expect Cole to come from, and a great way to start off the game.
EG still hovering around. They don't want complexity to own the jungle, but this now offering for another stun. Both the split earth and the arrow. Complexity! Arteezy can't create enough space, not with that Stormbolt. All he does is spending mana and complexity. Not only do they block up the camp, they get 2 early kills. And they take both the bounty runes.
They're in such a good place with all this. Especially Cancel with the first blood. He's already at 440 gold. He's got 2 kills. Like, what the hell?
Overall, they just gained an 800 gold advantage before the creep waves even touch each other.
That was really, really good for Cole. Happy to see Swindles didn't break his smoke on the tower either. Great double kill there. And it's, I think, a pretty good lane here for Mirana against Medusa. It's approximately even. I think Sumail should outfarm and should push a little bit better for the levels of around level 3. But the big lanes are really the dual off lane here. It's a Nyx Assassin played by Z-Freak actually, not Monkeys. So Monkeys going off lane. Great hero with a Baton because you can remove negative buffs on your heroes. So that could be Napalm, that could be Ogre's Ignite, and it can also be stuns. So if he can be fast enough, he can even remove Batrider Lasso.
And then you let Crit try and zone out the support.
And that's what's happening. They're just going to slap Arteezy a lot. They're going to try to get more farm. And Z-Freak might get a little gimped on levels, but as long as he catches up later, it should be just fine.
I was actually wondering, if you see the stout shit early, but judging by the wind lace instead, Z-Freak's not going to hang around at the lane.
He's going for the leap. For the arrow, he's got an Aqua. He does a ton of damage, but with the mana shield, he should be fine. But interesting item choice with the fast Aquila. He can turn it on and off, so that makes it a little harder for Sumail to get last hits. But really the big thing is that this item gives you like 19 damage as an agility hero.
Opening Oracle. The Satyrs are helping out. The creeps actually fight for him, but a double Stormbolt from Arteezy. He has nothing left, however, unless he wants to consume a Mango.
And they're going to keep pressuring the lane. So, and that's even with Zai pressuring mid with Ogre, by the way. He keeps coming mid, trying to nuke down Cancel a bit. Cancel's going to have to ferry out some consumable regen, not get as much as normal. But in the meantime, Swindle seems to be doing just fine in his lane. Universe picking up 2. He's fairly content also. So I think this laning stage is going amazing for Cole. Obviously, a lot of that was that double kill, but yeah, they're doing great either way.
And this gives EG on the back foot, so Batrider abandoned, starts up on his stack with Iron Talon Man. Swindles rotates into the so Rich Desire is here, he wants to do something about it. The early point up, Edict, no lightning. Obviously it's kind of a bit of a vulnerability to cancel. That's the dream.
Yeah, that's really all that changed for left track here. You even steal some experience from Batrider. That was a great grab by Swindles.
They're looking at Crit again. Z-Freak, he's...
I mean, how do you even observe him actually pressuring every single lane constantly? But yeah, Shrek, pretty strong hero. He used to be super OP. Lightning Storm was very strong. It got nerfed. Skywalk Edict is still a great ability. It does tons of damage. The only hard part is the Flesh gets behind. He's pretty worthless sometimes. But if you get on top of a tower and nobody's around, it's going to die real fast. And that's the advantage that Cole consistently abuses when they pick this hero.
Universe is going to get a little bit sad about this top lane. That's a triple stack that Swindles has managed to prepare. I don't know if he missed on both of them, actually.
Yeah.
And it moved back too early. He got greedy. He went for both.
Absolutely greedy, yeah. That's way too difficult. Unless you maybe threw a stun on the small camp and it wrapped around, but small mistake there. Either way, he does still have a stack, so can always pull to his heart's content, giving himself levels.
Z-Freak is still trying to fade out some kind of response. Monkeys actually gets hit. The Aphotic shield's up. The stun from Z-Freak. They turn onto Arteezy, but Oracle, you have to expect his early nukage. Arteezy quick salve up. Doesn't want to get hit by the creep wave.
That was actually so cool. Baden had a mango. He could have mangoed and Aphotic shield, and by doing that, it would have guaranteed Arteezy died there. Very close. Maybe if he had a magic stick or something. I'm not sure.
Does last long enough, and Monkeys will return to the play. And that's still the first kill for EG.
Toronto's very close to now. 540 gold passes Ox. Universe having a good time picking up 4. Still very dangerous for Arteezy down here, especially because Orc doesn't have a leftover mana, which means he can't just spend his mana to heal up Arteezy. Arteezy's gonna have to do, looks like he's gonna do a small camp, or he's just gonna suicide. A rare carry suicide to neutrals, but we're gonna see it here.
He spent all of his money. He waits a little bit longer, he can buy a third TP scroll.
Should have like dropped his stout shield and picked it up last second. This is actually becoming less bad.
It's taken so long. Now mid lane,
there.
maybe Zai cancels so low. Ogre will get it. Zai, even if he dies right now, is worth it for Z-Freak. They're at the right time. And maybe not so worth it when you feed a lot of experience into a support next.
And he's picking up the mid experience too. I'm really glad that we were watching Sven die into neutral slowly though. That was great. Absolutely worth it.
The slope lead. Monkeys done on bottom lane. Crit starts off with his nuke, then follows up into the Fortune's End. A Baden. Shield is up. Arteezy coming underneath the tower, but he can't do enough damage.
Luckily for him, he actually did remove the Fortune's End, I believe, almost immediately after it landed, so pretty nice. Got some heal back from the nuke in the first place, but Z-Freak's approaching towards mid.
Wonder exactly what he's looking for.
I think a kill, maybe some experience steal. I mean, he got 2 levels out of that TP mid to kill Ogre. That was very, very good for him.
I'm also interested in his build. I thought you'd see Mana Burn. The panel was talking about it, like it's a really nice thing up against a hero like a Medusa to have that.
It is.
But he's gone for a 2-0-2 build, and they're looking for Universe. And this is where the Spire Carapace can work. He returns, stuns him, the arrow will connect as well. They still need some vision. The Starfall's able to connect, and Universe starts his TP. Swindles the stun!
Ooh, that was close. It's the speed, he would have had that one for sure, but it's a cool way to attempt the gank. You just don't get mana burn that much early, honestly. It costs quite a bit. Out of your pool, it doesn't really nuke that hard.
They're going again on bottom. Fortune's End, Arteezy's got the Storm Bolt. Still has the Warcry if they want the extra movement speed, but now Swindles comes in. Monkeys will shield up, and Arteezy's got a healthy man. The stun Swindles starts to raise the hooves.
It's very close. Once Monkeys gets phased, he can actually turn and pressure those a bit faster, but he's getting so much experience in this lane either way. Keep trying to kill him, and it's costing themselves clarity potions, but
Universe and Zai.
that'll help.
Yep. That's a level 5 Bat Rider with the Bloodlust movement speed. So easy to come around the back. So they look to the level 5 Swindles to start with. Monkeys gonna give the shield to Swindles to get him out, and actually sacrifices himself for the glory of the Disco Pony.
I think that was okay, personally. They're about the same level, not the same farm, but obviously not good that somebody died. Great rotation there by the Radiant team.
But while they do that heavy rotation, you leave the top lane. I suppose Universe is about to take a huge stack, which is on the bottom lane. But now Z-Freak farms the lane, Live Stealer goes jungle. So that early level 6, that early Vendetta maneuver from Z-Freak, we already saw how good he was in the last game. Like, you give him invis maneuverability against heroes like Bat Rider who are scrambling money. Actually, is he going to go for drums before Blink? I wonder.
On which hero?
On Bat Rider.
Oh, Bat Rider? There are some games where Bat Riders do go for that, yes. It's definitely less common than it used to be. Almost every Bat is going Blink now. So I think that build got a little out of favor. It was started by Moon originally, I believe. Oh, big stun here.
Swindles with the Edict. They're going to burn through a lot of Medusa's mana, and Samael. Stun lasts long enough. Fairy Fire doesn't save him. The last star falls on his head.
It's the value of Leshrac. Diabolic Edict does so much damage. Burn right through his mana, the double stun. Great that he was able to land this one in the first place, and surprisingly a very tanky Medusa does fall.
Even without a setup, you're able to hit that top lane. Z-Freak being engaged on by Universe. Z-Freak still has the Spike Carapace available, but he's waiting. He's buying time for Moo to move over so he can stun. Now the open wound. Universe gets isolated. The Ignite throws out the Z-Freak. He might have enough life with a TP out. Universe won't find him. Zai! I don't know if he actually stopped moving for a moment. No attack move.
He got vision briefly, and when he went to cast a spell, his hero continued moving until he pressed the click, and that was when he lost his brief sight, so his hero stopped again because he lost the vision. Just a little unlucky there for Zai, but also great position there. by Z-Freak to get out.
Cancel peppering the arrow. He's not going to find his target, which is Dire Swindles.
Very
Too
close.
far off on the stun. Maybe needed to wait for the open wounds from Moo, but his phase boots were on cooldown as he didn't get the distance close fast enough.
I don't think they were going to kill him anyways. He's so tanky, and they still don't have armlet on Moo. A little surprised on this. He's high on last hits, but
Can Arteezy even...
hasn't finished.
Yeah, I think he actually understands there's some kind of threat coming in. It's the Observer Ward seeing Z-Freak arrive in the lane.
that or the monkeys forever was just killing him. One or the other.
Yeah. Well, it's a thing, right? You have an Abaddon, he can dive onto tier 1 towers when he's got the ulti and the shield.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little scary. And if Z-Freak's running up, maybe somebody else is ganking as well. It's always a little scary here. Swindle's getting a great double stack off. Something that I think a lot of teams need to do more. He pulled it a little bit wrong. He should have pulled it to the northeast just a little, but you definitely can get a double stack there.
Speaking of stacks, we can have to look for that for EG. Because Sven needs to play catch up. Only sitting at 2.7k net worth, he needs to be in front, but right now he's behind both the Lifestealer and the Mirana. So they prepared 2 stacks for him. The small camp just a little bit further to his north, and we already showed it the ancient stack, which was done by Ogre.
It's in an okay position, but considering how the laning stage went, he's constantly pressured.
Top
Very
lane.
reminiscent of game 2.
It's infest time.
All right, he's gonna have to take the long way though. And the longer that this creep wave is there and nobody's in the area, the faster EG is gonna realize that something's
But
happening.
what a place to do it. Like Universe just farming, you can use the Spike Carapace to actually trigger, so you get the secondary stun. So Spike Carapace, then the False Stun, Arteezy the neighborhood, and then crit. He has the false promise to the Stormbolt. He'll connect with the next assassin. And with the committal of the lasso, they do bring down the Nyx.
Great positioning by Crit there. They did kind of coagulate a bit when the creep wave top wasn't really very pressured. Universe actually is kind of hard to kill with Tranquil Boots and Iron Talon. A lot more armor than normal. And does he even have armlet yet? He still doesn't have armlet yet on the Lifestealer. So first rotation, kind of a good try, but there's a lot of tanky heroes on EG that just aren't going to die in that way.
It looked like more of an effort to stop the Sven. So we can't get that easy stack up. He actually stopped the Sven from getting the 3 stack on the Aegis before farming it.
It's true.
But they probably wanted to kill him more than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. They love a Sven kill at this point. Either way, Moo doesn't die. It's just a Nyx assassin, and the fact that he even got 6 this fast is already such a great place for him. Septoma knowledge as well. Gonna hold on to that. We'll see if he uses it.
Do so? Okay. Does this not tell you the mindset of Samael when you stone gaze to protect one camp of ogres?
Is that what this was? The farming stone gaze?
Oh, that was the oh crap, Swindle's just stunned me. I think Hansel's gonna throw an arrow.
Yeah, or is Nyx assassin here waiting to get the follow?
True.
So something like
they don't have sentries down to look for that.
All right, and here's the mid pressure. This is a tower that's barely been touched all game, but all of a sudden one Diabolic Gita comes down. You gotta glyph it. And they do, but if they can do that one more time, the tower definitely falls.
And with monkeys here, yeah, you know they're gonna do it one more time. Monkeys can take care of most of that creep wave. Moo's looking for an angle in from the back. So with Swindles, they just need the open wounds to set up. Or you're happy with this. You take the tier 1 tower. The armor is freshly delivered, so if EG want to fight, Complexity are ready to do so. And they smoke away from, somehow, all the Observer wards.
They spotted Zai with their obs here. It's going to get dewarded, though. The Sentry will spot it up. But he's even scared.
They're going for the Batrider instead.
Well,
they know he's farming up on bottom. The Radiant Observer Ward's watching him closely.
That's going to be a hard kill, though. Moo's got to run in.
Moo wraps around the back. The TPs begin. They need a stun. Cancel, leave, arrow too late. And the creep wave was blocking the path.
Yeah, that was a hard one to grab. They do go to the top lane in the meantime. It's very good usage of smoke. One team goes top, or one part of your team goes top, the other part goes bottom.
They may defend this, though. Like, with the 2 heroes showing themselves on the bot lane.
That's a great point, yeah.
EG will feel like they got the number advantage.
They will know that they have the number advantage, that's for sure. But on the bright side, another glyph popped. It obviously refreshes every time a tier 1 dies. That's still damage done by Cole. They're moving around the map. They're making EG run around the map. And while they didn't get any success on Batrider, really, at least Moo can farm confidently on the other side of the map. He really doesn't have a whole lot of threats this game. It's really just like Batrider plus other heroes. So as long as they have some good vision advantage and coverage for the area he's farming, they should get more farm on Cole's side.
And this, with all that farm, it's almost allowing Complexity to run 3 hybrid 3 positions. Like, you look at the farm on Swindles, Z-Freak, and Monkeys, they're sharing it out between them all, and it's not like they're losing out. Taking towers, the Lifestealer was maybe a little bit later on his armlet, but the power you get, and then the amount of money you get from pushing down these towers, they're too late. The tower's already taken.
Dude,
there's nothing to gain.
That's Edict. 10 seconds of 36 damage.
And that's an early level 4 Edict too. Like, that's a 2-4-0-1 build out from Lash with the mana to support it. Because you're running the double arcane boost between Z-Freak and Swindles.
It's actually not even expensive, really. 155 mana every single time you use Edict. If you turn your ulti on, it's 20 mana per second. Costs almost nothing. Very value hero. He's got really high int gain. The only downside, very squishy. So he's got to get from this arcane boots into a mid-game period where he's stronger. But if you look at EG's draft, they just don't have that much aggressiveness. But it's all going to come down to Arteezy, I think. The faster that he gets something like Blink Dagger, Echo Saber means the faster that he can actually start moving places and getting solo kills.
Do you wait for both before you fight with his event?
You don't have to, but I mean, he'll almost for sure go for Echo Saber first, but it's definitely important that somebody on EG gets things done. And that's one of the cool things about the way Cole's playing right now, is that very often, yeah, Cancel's maybe a little underfarmed where you'd expect him to be. That's because so many players sit in the mid lane, and they just sit there and farm, and sit there and farm. But he rotates so much that it makes it harder for EG to actually do their lanes. And I feel like Cole's really hitting a good stride with how unpredictable their ganks are. And now they got a Roche.
Yep.
Again, Edict just really abusing things. Towers, Roche kills.
Even the high points up in Cancel, like Cancel's helping everything, even increasing the attack speed by leaping into the pit, like level 4 on that. Like everything you've
And
got,
a Baden,
Complexity
passive.
is making the most of it.
And they got a fast Vlad, so more armor on everybody and more bonus damage. It's just getting scarier and scarier for EG. Their net worth is still consistently high. They're very good at that. But this game, they're not ahead starting after the laning stage like they were in the others.
This time it's Complexity over 4,000 in that net worth, and experience isn't as far up, but when you get things like Hand of Midas over on Z-Freak, you know you're going to be very efficient with your farming and Complexity.
And you know what that's going to turn into? That is 100% going to turn into an Axe late game. There's almost no way when you get a 14 minutes as a support. They're going to try to grab him here. He's trying to get as close as he can with the Quelling Blade. He has to initiate from short range, otherwise that happens.
The Spike Carapace will connect. You will actually get a little bit more control, but with the Warcry, they can't close the distance to Nyx. And even if you could, you drop the Sentry Ward, but you can't go under a tower dropping those things down.
That was a good try. But
And now Complexity are reacting. They've got to realize the rest of EG is up there as they've moved through the Radiant jungle, don't find anything. Starfall in the mid lane wasn't pinged out by EG, but you can see Complexity drawing the line. They want to wrap up through the river and come in from behind.
And they're spreading out a little
Oh,
bit.
they're going to find Samael. Not only are they going to find Samael, they're going to find the Ogre Club coming up for Arteezy. So Nyx Assassin's already down.
They know
the
now.
arrow will fly up.
That was a pretty big mistake to arrow there. If they got Sumail, it would have been amazing, but now they know where he is.
But they're coming in with also Ancient Form. So the Black Dragon fighting for Complexity is paused. Monkey wants to take that damage, get the ulti up. They kite it out. Now Samael hit by the 5-second arrow. They'll break him free with crit. So 2 heroes down for Complexity. EG getting the better end of this engagement. They still have the issue of the Life Stealer inside the Ancient Can. Still got an arrow in 4 seconds time. It's going to be when they start to actually compress inside that stairwell. Arteezy has to turn, but there's no mana for him. The arrow flies. Arteezy will dodge it. Runs up then down. The TP support's happening. Can Crit keep him alive long enough? No, he can't. Crit will start his TP as well. Is there the damage? Just not enough, even with the nuke from Monkeys. It was only a level 1 of the Miscoil.
Well, it went pretty good considering that Cole swung around from the backside, but yeah, that arrow that didn't quite hit Sumail, it cost them a lot because then the moment of surprise was gone. They knew exactly which way Cole was coming from, they got to react to it. Swindles yelled in there pretty hard, got blown up fast, but they were able to eventually get kills. But they made it hard. EG played that pretty much perfectly, that they only lost to Sven there. It's well done.
And all these little things are going to work for him. As we were looking to see, like, is EG going into the late game, if they can survive long enough, if they can keep enough area they can farm and maybe just get a couple of good picks. That's when you look towards the Batrider with that Blink Lasso.
Well, they have the solution working on that too on Cole's side. There's a energy booster for a bat, and it's gonna be the ever great item whose name I forgot. Aether Lens, there we go. Range increase kind of gives you a pseudo Oracle advantage. He's very often playing aggressive, running in the front, so maybe he will be disabled in the meantime, but if he can remove some lassos, it's going to be absolute fight winning.
Oh, the wrap around Arteezy is Z-Freak coming inside the Invis. Arteezy makes a break for the tree line. Warcrine's already triggered, goes to the Stormbolt, actually catches out the Nyx, but now Crit needs to help him out. Does he have enough heal? With the false promise on Sven, Monk's trying to bring him down. The track controlled, but he's still got the pulse over going. Zone Gaze, maybe they got the control with the stuns. It's enough. Complexity will lose 2, but it's still for the price of 2 of EG. Moon jumps outside that Moonlight Shadow. They'll trigger the dust. No more hiding inside of Invis, but also the Moonlight Shadow wears off. They'll get the stuns with the Flame Ring. A little bit of tick for the arrow. Ogre Vijay, the bodyguard, Kevin Costner / Zai, takes it for the team.
Guide the hand, Zai, from the death.
You know, he's Patrick Swayze. All right.
He is. He kept Sumail alive. That was a real Titanic moment
I
right
think
there.
Cancel is realizing just how much that tower also hurts him. Finally, he stops taking the damage for it.
Yeah, that dude's ulti was actually incredible. Just locked in 2 of the heroes there. They took a bunch of damage from the tower and kept the important heroes alive. Let the low net worth ogre die. That's definitely the players. The replay
Let's
here.
have a quick look at it.
Small mistake from Z-Freak there not to reflect the stun damage at least, but a great ulti from Crit at least bought them some time here. Swindle's trying to get the follow-up, but getting very low. Sick play from Monkeys here to remove the lasso just in time. By Swindle's a couple more seconds of damage, but it was really the Medusa ulti guaranteeing a lot there.
And he's the big power player. Sumail is looking very, very good on his network. So while we've been looking at this Ven pretty closely.
Here comes the arrow here. Great block by Zai. Just ate it. He's got a giant belly. Of course he can take those arrows, am I right? That would have been a 5-second stun, a guaranteed Medusa kill, but instead she lives on.
Saying Kevin Costner was fat. All right, I get it.
This one was, definitely.
Top lane, Arteezy out too far. War tries trigger, can't keep himself away from this one unless he is an absolute genius, which he is, but he still can't get away from that.
That split or damage, that radius is huge, and they're going to immediately turn this into a push. Just Cole is like respawning and instantly getting to fight setups, and Arteezy twice in a row here, getting jumped on, not expecting his opponents to be there. And now they're going to go take a creep wave, probably take a tier 2 tower. This is not the game that it was other times. Like EG and the other ones had the potential to split push, but they don't really have the heroes for that now. Doing it mid at least, they can try to defend this tier 1, but Cancel's going to slow it down.
Yeah, with a fortification, and you can already feel EG being very apprehensive about what's behind Cancel. Leap actually dodges the first bit of the ignite. Now Z-Freak, well, he actually gets the stun onto Sumail. But will it be enough? Ogre Mashai starts his TP, clap your way home, not enough. Swindle's right time and right place for the stun.
Yeah, they're just playing so fast right now. As soon as the tier 2 died, they pop the smoke and they run mid while their opponents or their allies
It's kill
engage.
to objective. It's
kill
so
to objective.
fast.
Absolutely. They're really not about farming this game, and it's absolutely working. I mean, EG plays very much a hybrid, generally more farm heavy style, but Cole is just running at them in organized moves, trying to grab kills, and they just don't have time to get as much farm on the heroes that they normally do.
This may just turn into a point where you just batten down the hatches, fight from inside, and hope Sumail is able to get large enough complexity, take too many casualties pushing high ground. I know it's not a great it's not a great thing. It's probably going to be a way to lose, but what else do? You keep feeding kills to complexity, you rotate and find you?
I mean,
even the build from Swindles, he's not even going for survivability. That's probably, like, maybe he does still go in for like the point booster and does find the survivability, but
yeah,
it could just be a Yule Scepter. It could just be the initiation.
Oh, Yules wouldn't be terrible just because you could Yules a Bat Rider. You could use it to set up kills. You can keep yourself alive while you're doing your ulti eat it combo, but I think Bloodstone is just fantastic on the hero, even as a support role, and then you kind of transition a little. So we'll see what he does. I mean, definitely even something like a Force Staff might be better, really. I mean, the way that they're playing, they're fighting all the time. Get those items that do actually help you in those little engagements.
With the stack being found up by Arteezy, he's rapidly approaching that timing we're looking for, which is a Blink and Echo Saber, but Z-Freak scouting the top lane too. Understands that Sumail, Universe is in behind him. This flags the warning bells for Cancel just to leave.
I don't even know if he saw the bat, actually, but it's a hard kill. You can't just kill it with those two. You would need probably a third hero, or maybe to have his mana burn actually maxed out. But he's getting close. Midas continues leveling him up, getting him gold. He's not too far from an Aghanim Scepter. And once he gets that, he's going to be very hard to kill, especially for EG with the heroes they currently have. And he's going to throw out a lot of nukes.
You're expecting the Ether Lens from the Abaddon, but he just completed up a Perseverance.
Okay. Going Lotus Orb then. So very similar component buildup, but better armor, very good regen. Just allows them to reflect things. So it's kind of a similar counter and arguably a lot better than Aphotic Shield. If you know when the Bat Rider is about to go in and you drop the Lotus Orb, then he just stuns himself, which in some ways is better than having the chance that you turn, drop the shield to remove it.
The blink is up, they find Swindles.
Going back.
That's a decent kill. Roshan only just spawned up as well, so complexity they can't just jump over for this either. And in fact, EG is looking for objectives. They're coming in for the tier 2 tower mid.
Yeah, any kill is pretty good at this point since Cole is farming quite well. But again, the farm values are actually sitting about the same for both teams. So Cole's ahead, but I think it's pretty much their game to lose right now. They're in a pretty firm lead with the heroes they have.
Cancel's going to add the pressure to the bottom lane too, so even if EG does have any inkling they want to go further, They probably can't.
great
The
stun.
stun over on Arteezy. Start now with a Mystic Snake. Takes away a lot of the mana of Z-Freak, but also stuns Medusa. There's no quick follow-up, just a quick Warcry away. Medusa, the stun is there. Samel has to be broken free with the false promise. Universe still holding inside the tree lines. Blink Daggers off cooldown as Complexity. They keep chasing. Now it's the Sentry. What they see after the stun is over on Z-Freak. Abaddon will survive. It's getting a lot of his life back, but Arteezy with the God Strength wants a target, but it's cancelled the back line. Crit can't stay alive long enough, but Arteezy needs to do more damage. He just can't do it. Being kited out by Moo. Finally, he's brought down and Swindles with the double kill. Hitting for the entire fight.
It's the first time that Swindles wasn't the first man into the fight. It was mostly the Nyx Assassin. He gets blown up, and Cancel also taking a ton of damage, but Monkeys keeps him alive. And if you just let a Leshrac sit there and do that kind of damage, it doesn't matter how much farm the guy has. He's going to do a lot of damage, and that's exactly what happened.
Samel needs to go and regenerate. Complexity's coming. Universe going to flame break the creep waves. No Firefly set up. Try and mop up the creep wave, and in fact, Complexity don't want to go any deeper. They should know by now that Roshan is alive. So this is the next primary objective for them.
And they might as well go for it. I mean, they've got 4 points in Curse of Avernus. Gonna see a replay here. Big save to keep Sumail out of there due to the arrow. They're going for the chase. Monkey's trying to keep his HP up, but Z-Freak missing another chance to reflect some damage here, and then the great blink and use the ulti guarantees his death.
Arteezy with that one swing also gave Monkeys back like 50% of his HP because he just cleaved him down.
That's pretty good. Cancel gets out, great shield, and at this point Arteezy finally getting worked down in 3 dead heroes.
That's when you have to look for that BKB to come on Arteezy. Complexity started up Roshan. You'll see him walking out of the pit as EG smoke over. So they got their choice if they feel they can just jump in and try and take it underneath Complexity's noses.
Did that ward spot out their smoke is my question. It's pretty deep, may have caught them running out, but maybe just a little read. Definitely a very
the fact
good
that
read.
no one's farming the bottom lane should already be a big indication.
It's a great point, yeah. Somebody would have pushed it out, even if it's just like a snake.
And you're seeing the ping. So the arrow is just a scout from Complexity. If EG did go for that, we'd probably be looking at a GG call at the moment, because Complexity would own that fight.
Yeah, they absolutely can't let them take Roche. Both teams have got to be concerned about it. Leshrac had a good place too. Mechanism is finished, and he's got the mana pool for it. So now they're going to be on the backswing, trying to see if they can catch EG while
Observer
EG
and
waits.
Sentry is there. That is an Invis Nyx Assassin. So they saw him, they put down an extra Sentry. You're right, so the Vendetta's coming up cooldown in a moment.
Arteezy's got Blink. If he gets a jump on anybody, he pretty much kills them, except for Abaddon.
Love his positioning too. No way the Complexity could walk through this area without instantly triggering off their smoke. Getting caught out. Z-Freak runs back in again. They see Monkeys. The start comes in. Arrow on their way. Going to be dodged by everybody in the Stone Gaze. Making it the Complexity just has to disengage for a moment. And they get the stun. They found Batrider, but Arteezy. The Stormbolt. No, the crash. Swindles. Hits the massive split earth. Arteezy. He's got the false promise, but it's false hope. He'll die the second he gets out of it. 4 heroes lost from EG. And Complexity, with a license to kill, the arrow will fly. It doesn't have the distance. Even if it had the speed, Complexity are bearing down on that bottom lane. They don't even need the creep wave. The top lane's pushed in far enough, but they have a creep wave anyway.
And this is one of those fights where they fought on the enemy side of the map, so by the time they get to the tower, yeah, it's a short respawn, but this tower's dead already. They're going to pop Glyph maybe here, but there's not even a point. They're going to kill Rax, and they're going to
just letting it go. He pushed out the top. He pushed out the top lane, but Complexity, you're running a Leshrac as 2 Raxes.
They've still got the Glyph here. It's going to buy them some time. At the least they can take a 5-man team fight, but they don't have their ultimates up. No lasso.
3 seconds.
No God Strength.
Sven's
no
up.
Medusa.
Complexity, do you overstay your welcome here? You're starting the damage on the Life Stealer. The melee Rax dropping quickly. There's your fortification, not easy. No God Strength, just the Warcry to start with. The stuns, Nyx Assassin's protected by the Lotus Orb. A fishing arrow, not going to connect on anybody. And Life Stealer just casually 27 minutes into the game picks up a Radiance.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's just going to Ancient the crap out of this now.
Basically, I mean, EG has decent solutions against Ancient creeps. Sven does a ton of physical damage. Medusa's damage is okay. They got Lasso, if you really want to Lasso an Ancient, but now he's just going to stand there and do an insane amount of damage. Give mischance all over the place as well. Stop Blink Daggers. Just 2 heroes on EG with Blink. And they got an Aegis. Like, they're playing this perfectly right now on the court side. 4,000 gold on Mirana as well. He's so close to an E-Blade if he so wishes. And EG does not have the money for BKBs. So pretty soon here, we're going to see people get one-shot by combos.
Okay, so Z-Freak has an Aghanim except now on the Nyx Assassin. There's a Lincoln Sphere for Cancel. and a Greaves is on the way for Swindles as well.
All right, they're playing it super safe. Murano with Lincolns, can't get lassoed. Batrider doesn't even have Force Staff. He's going Black King Bar because the stuns are so hard to deal with when you're against a Nyx Assassin. They don't have the solutions that they need to beat Cole in these fights unless somebody makes a huge mistake. So that's what they got to do. Push the lanes out. Don't let them even take the fight until while they still have Aegis. Gotta avoid that shot in the back.
That was the dominated Wild Wing. Just, you almost think that would be more worth it to hold it in the mid, because you know that push is coming. Complexity are on their way.
And they have the Granite Golem giving 15% more HP to all of his allies.
Sumel's already TPing. They're already preparing for the defense. There's no Firefly down on the correct wave again. So nothing to hold that back. Sentry's down.
Just the Burrow.
Arrow.
Pretty good
Arrow
range.
split. Sai. This time his Fat Belly doesn't catch it, but Monkeys, heavy damage. The Storm Bolt will catch both Swindles as well as Monkeys, but they don't really care. They might care a little bit more if they tick down to Flame Break, but Greaves already triggered off. The regeneration's good, and the melee rank's almost down in the P3. Oh, he is visible. The arrow connects on the Ogre. Storm Bolt will keep him out.
You blink dodge it, that was sick. Doesn't really matter though, they're gonna do more nuke. Can they kill Zai?
Zai is so low, they need to get out. Same for Oracle with a blink lasso. And drags back hands off the T4 towers. Artesian this time Marauder leaps up. They need the damage, need to finish the job. They burn through the Aegis, but that's all for now. Sumail's still a little bit further down, killing off Z3. He had the vision, the fire characters as well as the stun. Medusa can't do much more. He needs to do the damage, and now almost doing his Swindles and Z3. They're so low, but it's Moo who's the real issue. A triple kill under the tier 4 towers. Arteezy looking to fight with another stun. They just keep chaining Arteezy's down, and GG, well played. Complexity proof. It's not a fluke. It's the only matchup that's gone the full stretch, the full 3 games. EG and Complexity, everything else in this group stage was 2-0. But these two teams fought hammer and tongs to try and prove they are the best in America.
What an amazing upset by Cole. Not beating EG just one series, but the convincing 2 series. And especially the way they closed this out. It wasn't like game 2. It wasn't like game 1. This was a absolute dominant performance from the beginning to the end. And you can see it on EG's faces. This is not where they expect to be. Their 3rd seed going into the main event. That means they're going to have to play against a 2nd seed, a pretty darn good team. We don't know who it's going to be yet, but Cole absolutely blowing people's minds.
Yeah, they've definitely earned a lot more respect. I can't remember who I was having this discussion with, but we're looking to see teams who would really do well here and to look for a dynamic team, a team doesn't just play one style, that can play this kind of like kill into objective push, which the Leshrac brings you, which no other team is looking to run, even though Complexity were doing it. Yeah, from a support.
Shakiro kind of can, but it's not like you take out 80% of a tower's HP with Diabolic Edict.
Yeah, and even then, like the counter up against Medusa, it just works so damn well too. Like that gank in the mid, the second that arrow connected, Complexity just playing it beautifully. And panel, have we got ourselves a top 4 contender in Complexity?
Definitely. Or at least from this performance, from this 3rd game alone, they looked so sharp, guys. Had a good day of commentating Dota today, I'd say.
It's been a good day.
It was
definitely
a good series
day.
to end it on, that's for sure.
That was an amazing series to end it on, and we are going to try to break that series down. Thank you so much for the commentating of that game. And gentlemen, again, back on the desk. Ben, Fog, Jack, the 3rd game.
xong vậy bây giờ bạn còn mang mà đo ngáo đâu còn
This is for all my ladies out there. And low key to my boots.